everyone, welcome back to another video. It's been quite some time since I posted the last video, but it's amazing how quickly the time passes away. I mean, I will be making videos regularly from now on. Today I wanted to discuss the topic of how to apply for jobs in Germany. I see this mistake being made by so many candidates in the beginning, and you actually can't blame any of them because they have no idea on how to send applications for jobs in Germany. And this was the problem even with me. I mean, when I came to Germany, we have never been taught on how to send applications in Germany, because in Germany or in the German speaking world, I don't know how it is in the US or the UK, but in the German speaking world, how you send your application and how you frame your application is one of the most important deciding factor. Many departments or heads of the departments decide if they want to call you for interview just looking at your application. So I will give you a heads up, and with this will be a game changer for you. If you do exactly what I say on how to apply for jobs, you can get an interview for any job that you are interested in just by the way you framed your application. I'll quickly tell a story regarding this. Now, when I first came to Germany, I used to send a lot of applications for jobs, and I used to rarely get interviews, and I used to wonder, why, I'm qualified, I have my registration and this and that, and but eventually I would get a position because there were so many vacancies, and there are still so many vacancies in Germany. I was already a surgeon from India, and I had already done about 2 years of surgery in Germany, and I wanted to do plastic surgery. So I was sending applications for plastic surgery positions everywhere in Germany, and finally I got a call for an interview, and this was in the city of Hanover. So I went for the interview, and there were 3 other candidates who were there for the interview. I was the last candidate in, and I started talking to the head of the department, who was a wonderful German plastic surgeon, and we started talking about, like in any interview, what my future looks like, and why I want to do plastic surgery, the regular interview stuff, which also I will cover in detail as to how to attend, because these are the deciding factors. You might have your B2 German language certificate, you might have your approbation or your permanent registration in Germany, but the application part and the interview part are 2 things that are so important and will decide in which hospital you end up, will basically decide your career path. Because let's say you are not good at giving interviews, or you don't know how to send an application, eventually some small hospital will take you, and what happens is you go to this small hospital in some small village, you get so comfortable, and you end up staying there for the rest of your life. I've seen this happen so often. But if you are somebody who is ambitious, who wants to pursue something big, then you have to know how to send applications, and you have to know how to give interviews in German hospitals. So this particular head of the department, we spoke about everything, and I knew a little bit of plastic surgery history, and we talked about the famous German plastic surgeon Jacques Joseph. Now, Jacques Joseph was the plastic surgeon who did a non-scar rhinoplasty. He was a Jewish surgeon working in Berlin in the early 1900s, and he, by operating on cadavers, developed the technique of rhinoplasty. He, obviously being Jewish, was harassed by the Nazi regime of Berlin, and he eventually died of a heart failure in around, I think, 1938. So this was something we connected on. We spoke a lot about Jacques Joseph, and he showed me the first edition of Jacques Joseph's books on how he described rhinoplasty for the first time. Anyways, we spoke on this, and he said, I can imagine you being in the department, and then he dropped the bomb. But there's a big negative in your application. You know what that is? Your application. And then he picked up my application, which was nothing but a badly written CV inside a plastic folder. So he said, I think you don't know how to apply. There is no application photo here. In German, it's called Bewerbungsfoto. You don't have a Bewerbungsfoto. Your CV is not in order. You've just put your documents in here and you have enclosed it in this plastic cover. This is not the way to apply. And this is a big minus with your application. And that's why I'm not considering you as the first candidate among the other candidates. It just hit me so hard at the time because I thought, with all my knowledge, plastic surgery knowledge, the deal was done. But the deal breaker was the application process. It was after this I went back home and I researched as to how to apply in Germany and in the German speaking world, because this plays such a huge role. You could end up in a big university hospital if you know how to send the application. Of course, these days many departments say, you can send your applications online through email, and they will also give you the address. Sometimes they will clearly state schriftliche Bewerbungen, means you have to send it via post. And sometimes they say auch per email, you can also send it via email. So you can either send it written or by email. Rarely they will say only by email. It will either be by post or by email. You can send it by email, but if you really want to make a good impression, I would suggest that you send it via post. And this is how you do it. First and foremost, you have to get something called a Bewerbungsmappe. What is this? This is an application folder. This is an absolute must in applications in German. Don't send it just putting your documents inside an envelope and just send it. No, it has to be in a Bewerbungsmappe. What is a Bewerbungsmappe? Bewerbungsmappe is a folder which you can order online, and in this, the documents have to be neatly arranged in the Bewerbungsmappe or application folder. You have place for the photograph, you have places for where to put your documents, you have to arrange your documents neatly. So first and foremost, you need a Bewerbungsmappe. Don't send applications without using a Bewerbungsmappe or application folder. This is so important. This is where many candidates fail, especially candidates coming from the Indian subcontinent. The next thing is how to write your CV. I mean, in the beginning, when I first came to Germany, there were a lot of doctors and nurses who used to ask my help, can you please apply for me? And I used to do a lot of applications for these candidates. So they used to send me their documents, I used to prepare their documents and apply for them, my friends and, acquaintances. And most of them are working in Germany now. And the same mistake, badly written CVs. They don't know how to write a CV. These things play a huge role on you getting a call for an interview. How you write your CV. We are so lazy and want to take the easy path. We think, the person who is looking at the application will somehow overlook all of this. No. In Germany, they're very specific. They will look at each point of your CV. They will look how your cover letter is written. They will look at all your documents. Another thing is how badly the documents are scanned. I remember asking the candidates to send me a copy of their passports. My goodness, they were so badly copied. Part of it was not there. This is so common. Even if you're scanning with a phone, make sure it is proper, not something written down of the name of the app, cam scanner or whatever that is. Scan it properly with good lighting. It has to be clearly visible. So you will have the Bewerbungsmappe. On one side, you will put the CV. On the other side, you will put the documents, and you have to attach a Bewerbungsfoto. Bewerbungsfoto means an application photograph. You have to get a nice Bewerbungsfoto. Go to a photo studio and tell them you want an application photograph. I will put up a sample application photograph here. The application photograph has to be put on top. On one side, you have your CV beautifully written. I will make a course on how to apply, which will be available free of cost, and it will also be in my step-by-step guide to become a doctor in Germany course, but I will also post this separately for free on how to apply for jobs in Germany, on how to frame your application. This means writing your CV beautifully, Bewerbungsfoto, all your documents, that is all your certificates, pass certificates, your medical degree certificate, if you have any postgraduate experience, that certificate, and if you're not a postgraduate but you've worked in a hospital, a certificate there, and very important, recommendation letters. So these are the documents that need to be there. I know they say these copies have to be notarized. This, in my experience, is not needed. Just a copy of your documents is enough, and when you go for the interview, you have to take the originals with you, just in case they want to check. So you don't have to notarize these documents. Just beautifully made or very nicely made photocopies of your documents, not slanting, not proper color. It has to be almost of the same color as your document, nicely photographed, nicely printed out, and put in the Bewerbungsmappe with your CV and your application photograph. And now the most important thing, the cover letter. Now the cover letter, many professors or heads of the department, this is what happens. They take the Bewerbungsmappe, they will have a look at your photo, the candidate, then they will take your CV and they will have a look at your CV quickly. They will see what all you have done, whether you are the preferred candidate, if you have experience in the field, a major plus. If you have prior experience in the field, very often you get called for interviews. So they will have a look at your CV, then they will look at your cover letter. They will go through your cover letter, and then they will quickly go through, skim through your documents, whether you have your approbation. If you don't have an approbation, why is that? Then they'll have a look at your medical experience documents and your degree certificates. So this is how it usually goes. So all of this has to be arranged nicely, and the cover letter is so important. It has to be beautifully written. I would suggest that you ask a professional to write your cover letter. So all of this has to be put together and sent via post. Sooner or later, you will get a call back, simply because you took the effort to prepare your application meticulously and beautifully. And once I started doing this, after my experience with the plastic surgery professor, I implemented this, and I would get a call every single time. It was insane, the turnaround that I got every single time. 95% of the times I used to send an application via post, unless they particularly said please send it only through email. Even when you're sending it through email, there's no difference. It's Bewerbungsfoto, your cover letter, your CV, and your documents have to be scanned beautifully and attached with the email. Now, once you have your approbation, or once you have your Berufserlaubnis, let's say you're interested in a particular field, where would you find the jobs? There are several websites to find your jobs. Because I know many of the candidates don't know where to look for the jobs, my own website, which I'm creating at the moment, will have all the jobs, your fellowships, observerships, postgraduate positions, training positions, senior doctor positions. All of this will be posted in my website, which is being created at the moment. So you can apply directly from my website as well. You can see all the current jobs. Now, interview is a separate topic. How to conduct yourself in an interview. I know many of them have never given interviews in German, so I will cover this in another video, or it will probably be in my free course on how to apply and attend an interview in Germany or in Switzerland. So I hope this particular video helped, and my A1 course is long out, and you can access my A1 course. I've written it in the description. And my A1 exam preparatory course. Just finishing the A1 course is not enough. You need the A1 exam preparatory course to prepare for the exams. and you don't have to take the Goethe exam. You just have to be able to pass the A1 exam. So this A1 preparatory course, wherein I have solved 3 exam papers and attached 10 sample exam papers for you to solve. After you pass this, you can move on to the A2 course. So I hope this is clear. Subscribe to my channel and click the like button, and see you in the next video. Bye.